This week in Beyond Meat News.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Beyond Meat podcast. This first segment being the brand new Beyond Meat News segment. But anyways, we have three main pieces of news that happened for Beyond that are incredibly bullish, all great news, and I'll be getting into that right now. And then later on in the podcast, I'm going to be talking about other companies that I think you should be invested in as well, other plant-based companies. So without further ado, let's jump right into the news. So firstly, we have Beyond Meat partnering with Caribou Coffee. Now, I've never heard of these guys personally. I think they're more big on like the West Coast or in the Midwest or whatever. I think they're really big in Minnesota. But they have around 450 locations nationwide, and I think around like 800 worldwide, which is great. You know, just more exposure for Beyond. That's awesome. So here's a little bit of the article. Rise and shine with the new satisfying and craveable Beyond Meat sausage with egg and mozzarella sandwich available at Caribou Coffee starting today. So they have this new sausage, egg, and cheese, Beyond sausage, egg, and cheese on a ciabatta bun, which actually looks really good. So it's not entirely vegan, but you know, it's a step in the right direction. I mean, considering Beyond's, most people who buy Beyond's products aren't even vegan, I guess there's really no use in them appealing to vegan audiences, you know, entirely. And I'm sure it was all up to Caribou whether or not they wanted to have an entirely vegan sandwich or not. But again, it's a good step in the right direction. We are excited to partner with Caribou Coffee on their new breakfast sandwich offering, said Tim Smith, VP Food Service Sales Beyond Meat. The introduction of the Beyond Meat sausage with egg and mozzarella sandwich is a testament to Beyond Meat and Caribou Coffee's common goal of providing customers with satisfying, craveable, and better-for-you meal offerings. The Beyond Breakfast Sausage Patty is made with simple, plant-based ingredients without GMOs, soy, gluten, or cholesterol, and delivers the taste and texture of traditional pork sausages while being better for people and planet. The Beyond Breakfast Sausage Patty and Caribou Coffee's new breakfast sandwich has less total fat, saturated fat, and sodium than a leading brand of pork breakfast sausage patties, no cholesterol, antibiotics, or hormones, no GMOs, soy, or gluten, kosher, and halal certification. To pick up this plant-powered breakfast and fuel your day, find a Caribou Coffee location nearest to you. So that's the first piece of news. It came out March 3rd. So that is amazing news. Again, just the more exposure Beyond can get, the better. More partnerships. Just it's great. It's awesome. And second, we have news that they're partnering with Peet's Coffee. This article actually came out just a day later, which is kind of funny. Breakfast fans rejoice. The new everything plant-based sausage sandwich has arrived across participating Peet's Coffee locations nationwide as part of their new 2021 spring menu. The sandwich combines a savory Beyond Breakfast sausage patty, just plant-based egg. So that's pretty awesome that they're partnering with Just Egg too, which that's actually going to be one of the companies that I'm going to, be telling you guys to look out for in the future if you're not already aware of them. Just Egg. They're pretty much the leaders in the plant-based egg industry right now. They for sure have the best product out there. I'm not even sure if they have much competition. I have yet to see like any other plant-based egg alternatives at Whole Foods or any grocery stores. I could be wrong, but I just haven't seen any. Yeah, so they have the Beyond Sausage Patty, the Just Plant-Based Egg, and melted plant-based cheddar on an everything bagel thin for a satisfying plant-powered bite. Now, what I like more about this is that Peet's was smart enough to go with a fully vegan sandwich here, which I think is great. It's very progressive in the fast food industry to be doing this because not many places are doing this. You know, Dunkin' Donuts, again, has the egg and cheese. And finally, Peet's was able to break through that barrier, and now we finally have the first fully plant-based vegan breakfast sandwich. So exciting. I can't wait to try this thing at my local Peet's when it's available. I definitely will probably be doing a review of it at some points, but I'm very excited for that. The Caribou Coffee one, I can't really review that because there's none in the state that I'm in. We're thrilled to partner with Peet's Coffee to introduce Beyond Breakfast Sausage as part of their new plant-based sandwich item. Together, we are increasing accessibility and providing more choice to help meet the growing consumer demand for delicious plant-based options, said Tim Smith, VP of Food Sales, Beyond Meat. Basically the same thing he said for the Caribou Coffee one, and then they say the same spiel at the end here, how Beyond's, no GMO, no soy, no gluten, no cholesterol, all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, these are two very bullish, great things. Peet's Coffee, I believe they have less locations than Caribou Coffee. I think they have around like 200 locations, but I think Peet's Coffee is a lot more in their growing phase right now. I think they're a fairly new coffee company, or I could be wrong, or at least they're fairly new in their popularity recently. So that's awesome. Again, two pieces of amazing news right there. And the last piece of news today is Walmart launches more Beyond Meat products in stores March 9th. Attention Walmart shoppers, more Beyond Meat products are hitting shelves starting this week. Walmart will be adding Beyond Sausage Hot Italian to the fresh meat aisle at more than 400 stores, as well as expanding the Frozen Cookout Classic Value Pack to approximately 500 stores. Beyond Sausage Hot Italian is a plant-based sausage designed to look, sizzle, and satisfy like pork. Compared to traditional pork sausage, Beyond Sausage offers more protein and iron with less total saturated fat, and no cholesterol, antibiotics, or hormones. The Cookout Classic provides everything that customers love about their juicy, meaty taste and texture of the Beyond Burger, with the added convenience of being sold frozen in a value pack designed to feed the whole family. After last summer's successful limited edition launch of Cookout Classic, Beyond Meat is reintroducing the item as a new permanent product. See, now this is awesome because I literally was just, I believe on the first episode of the podcast, I was talking about how, I wish that they would bring the Cookout Classic as a permanent thing, and then sure enough, here we go. They're doing it. This is really a win for us recurring buyers of the Beyond Burgers. So I think it's great that they're doing this. I mean, the fact that they're able to do this still, because initially Ethan just wanted it as a limited thing because he was having kind of a big price cut on it. So I mean, the fact that they're able to now reintroduce them as a permanent product, I guess it could be a good or a bad sign. It could be maybe a sign of desperation. Although I don't really see how it's a sign of desperation. It's probably just, they're just trying to meet the demand, But that's amazing though. If they're able to just offer them in this value pack as a permanent item, it is a way better deal than the 2-pack. And I'm kind of curious what they're going to do with the 2-pack from now on. If Ethan's going to change that with the Beyond Burger 3.0, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm making a little prediction here if he switches to a 4-pack for the Beyond Burger 3.0. And then maybe he does a little price cut there too. So we'll see what happens with that. This expansion furthers our goals of making simple plant-based meat products made without GMOs or bioengineered ingredients more accessible to all. In addition to Beyond Sausage Hot Italian and Cookout Classic, you can find the Beyond Burger, Beyond Sausage Brat Original, and Beyond Breakfast Sausage Patties at Walmart. So there you have it, guys. That's the news for right now. If you're wondering where I'm getting this news from, I'm just getting it right from their website. They have a newsroom section, and it shows all of their news very, very conveniently here. Again, whenever any news comes out, I'm going to try to get it out faster, than I did this time. I kind of just had a delay here, but I've just been really busy, so I apologize for that. I really want to make it convenient so whoever listens to this podcast doesn't have to go searching for all this stuff themselves. They could just come to the podcast and just, be able to listen to it and get updated without having to do all this digging. That's the goal of this podcast, really, is to keep everyone informed. I look it up so you don't have to, basically. Now, as far as the other part of this podcast, I'm going to be talking about 3 companies that I think you should be looking out for as the potential next big Beyond-like companies. And the first one I'm going to be talking about is my second biggest holding right now, Else Nutrition. They're a Canadian-based baby food company, but what makes them stand out from the competition is that they're the first plant-based complete nutrition formula for toddlers. They're organic, dairy and soy-free, gluten-free, corn syrup-free, and non-GMO. And for a while, they were only selling directly from their website and on Amazon, and they recently got a deal with Sprouts. If you're not sure what Sprouts is, it's basically kind of like a Whole Foods-esque supermarket that's really big, I believe, down south and out west. Actually, I went to a Sprouts back when I went to Vegas a couple years ago, and it's really nice, and that was huge news for them. And they have a bunch of patents too. They also have an infant formula in the works right now. It's getting FDA approval right now, I believe. So yeah, this is all, or their current formula is obviously FDA approved, and again, they're expanding into Sprouts, into brick and mortar right now. So I mean, things are really looking good for Else. They have great reviews on Amazon. I also love the way that the formula container looks, because if you've ever been to a baby food aisle, all the formula containers just look really ugly, at least to me, and they all look very similar and just like very bland looking. Their graphic design is it's a breath of fresh air in the baby food formula industry, I think, and I think it really stands out in that way. And looking at their chart right now, their chart looks amazing. They just have a very, very, very nice looking chart. Now I think is a great time to take a position in Else because the chart looks great. It's kind of consolidating right now. And this channel here between like 280 and 250, 245. And it's really holding support very well. It looks very, very nice on a technical level. And again, they have a bunch of bullish catalysts going for them. So right now they're $271 in US dollars. I think they have potential to go to $10, maybe even 15 or 20 bucks someday. Definitely a great, great company to invest in. Now, the other 2 companies I'm going to be talking about currently aren't traded publicly. First one I'll be talking about is Oatly, which I'm sure those of you who are into plant-based milks have heard of Oatly. They're huge, and even if you haven't, I mean, they're like everywhere. They're in every store now. They're in Target, Walmart, your local grocery store. There's a lot of hype around these guys right now. They have partnerships with Starbucks. I believe Jay-Z is an investor. Jay-Z and Beyonce are investors. I mean, they have a lot of high-profile people who are into them and promoting them. And yeah, I just think they're a great product too. I love their product. I think it's delicious. It tastes way better than regular milk to me. I mean, I'm lactose intolerant anyways. But Oatly, I mean, they just kill it. Their product kills it. They have the 3 different types. They have the low-fat, they have the regular, and then they have the high-fat versions of the milk, and it all just tastes amazing to me. I'm a big fan of their product. I'm a big fan of the way that they market. They have a lot of great marketing techniques. I think they went viral on a few occasions. I love the graphic design on their cartons, too. They also have a patented enzyme technology that turns oats into a milk substitute, so that's great. They have a patent on how they make theirs, which, I mean, I have tried other oat milks, and they just pale in comparison to Oatly, in my opinion. I think Oatly has a superior product to all these other oat milk competitors. So they're doing something right. They got something going for them, and they actually did submit a confidential filing for an IPO with the SEC. So I mean, they could be IPOing potentially even this year. And they're estimated to be valued at 10 billion. So I mean, this could get crazy really fast. I mean, that's the only thing that I'm kind of worried about, is that there's going to be so much hype and it's probably going to come out really overpriced. I could see them coming out like at $100 or something ridiculous like that. In that case, it's really hard to know what to do. I mean, they're definitely not worth $100. They only have like 200 million in revenue right now. So yeah, I would maybe pick up their stock around like $40 or $60 at the most. If they IPO too high, then I'm probably just gonna wait for a dip, because most IPOs do eventually end up dipping. I mean, look what happened to Beyond. You could have had a way better chance if you just waited for that. So Oatly, very excited. And the last company I wanted to talk about, guys, is Eat Just. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of them. They made the Just Egg, which is their egg substitute. I've tried it numerous times. It's delicious. They're partnered with Beyond on a lot of things with that for their breakfast sandwiches. They're also doing lab-grown meat, and they actually had the first available, I believe the first in the world available lab-grown meat served at a restaurant in Singapore. And now, obviously, we're probably a ways away from, FDA approval and whatever to make it consumable in the US. I'm sure Singapore probably has a lot less regulation in that regard. Yeah, I'm sure it's probably a good product. You could almost see the lab-grown meat as like a hedge against Beyond Meat, because a lot of people think there's definitely two camps of people. There's two camps of people who think the future is going to be strictly plant-based, and there's other people who think it's going to be strictly, lab-grown meat is just going to blow Beyond out of the water. I kind of land in the middle. I think that there's going to be room for both in the future. There's just going to be room for both. There's going to be a market for both, for lab-grown meat and plant-based meat, and they're going to coexist together. That's where I think it's going to be. So I think, why not be invested in both? It's a great thing to invest in. And not only that, again, they have the egg substitute too. So I think Eat Just is going to be a great company to invest in the future. Currently, I believe that the CEO said he'll consider an IPO once they're profitable. They're not profitable yet, but they expect to be very soon. So that could be, who knows, by the end of 2021. Most likely, they'll probably be IPOing sometime in 2022. So those are some stocks, guys, to look out for. Two of them haven't IPO'd yet. Well, actually, Oatly filed for the IPO, so we might even see that by the end of 2021. Eat Just is the farthest away from that, and Baby Else Nutrition, you can invest in that right now. Ticker symbol BABYF. You're gonna need a Fidelity account for that, though, if you want to buy it. You cannot buy it on Robinhood. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this episode of this podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. The next episode, I have something kind of fun planned. My friend Anthony, he's gonna be co-hosting with me. And he's actually never tried any of Beyond Meat's products. And so he said he's going to go and try some. And then we're going to discuss on the podcast, what he thought about them. And it should be pretty fun. Yeah, anyways, guys, make sure to leave a like if you're on YouTube. Subscribe if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Leave a good 5-star review if you like it. And I'll see you guys for the next episode. Peace.